January 2024. I'm excited about this year. In this video, I'll be bringing you the update of all the transits. We have some incredible energy that is going to go direct. That means we're going to get to finally move forward. There's a couple of key planets that are moving direct. I'm going to share with you all of that and all of the energy you need to know to navigate this month to get the best start you can to 2024. Hi, I'm Prema Gurreri. Welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad you're here. 2024 has some exciting transits to start our year. All the planets by the end of the month will be going direct, but at the very beginning of the month, we have a couple of planets shifting, Mercury and Jupiter, that will really kick things off to this new year, along with a very powerful new moon to get us going. So we have been in a big time of reevaluation, especially the second half of 2023, because we've had almost all the planets retrograde. And then one by one, they've been shifting around and going direct. When we have retrograde planets, it's an important energy because it really asks us to reevaluate things. We might have sped through some things, and then it gives us an opportunity to reevaluate our choices, maybe recalibrate, do things a little bit differently. So that energy of slowing down, as annoying as it may be, it does give us a chance to go deeper into things. And the real benefit is as the planets move direct, it becomes more of an outward process. And the things that we've been reevaluating, going over, we get an opportunity to take action, move forward, have more of the wind in our sails, but do this with some hindsight and possibly making some changes and doing things differently. Some of the things that have really been sort of weighing on us in a way is with the Jupiter retrograde and the Mercury retrograde sort of culminating at the end of the year, some really existential questions like, who am I? Why am I really even here? What am I up to? Am I aligned with my gifts? If you have if you have a message in the world, if you have a business, if you've got service, and I'm sure you all do at some level, are you am I really aligned with all that? I know I've been really doing some soul sourcing, some deep digging around all of that. And the beauty of it is that I know, because of going through this so many times, to trust the process. And as I'm come back around, it's not that I'm in such a different place, but I have a different perspective, which means I want to move forward differently, and I want that for you too. So it's a time of moving forward and really taking our power back at a big level. That's something that we've all been evaluating, reevaluating, looking at, especially over the last 3 years since 2020 and before that, but it's really been up for all of us. So it's a time to move forward with integrity. And, knowledge is power. And that's one of the reasons I'm here for you, is knowledge is power. So we can use that wisdom. We can use that knowledge. And that's exactly what Jupiter wants us to do. So as we start the year, Jupiter is direct. Went direct on January 31st. And Jupiter is direct at 11 degrees of Aries. And what's significant about that point is that this is just about a degree away from where the sun is exalted. So it's a very, very powerful placement. And then let's remember, in the Sacred Wealth Code system, Jupiter is our great sage, our great teacher, and also the great visionary, which I don't have right in front of me, but the great visionary as well. Jupiter moved into this placement back in April of 2023, but it was there with Rahu, the north node of the moon, which was that Guru Chandala yoga that was a bit confusing. Jupiter is our planet of truth and knowledge and wisdom and hope and faith and optimism, good fortune. It brings grace wherever it is. It also shines on the trine aspect, so it shines on all the fire constellation. Later, as we get into May, it'll be moving to Taurus in Vedic Astrology. Yes, this is the sidereal zodiac, and it will be making a huge shift, which it does every year. I will be talking about that in my Divinely Align class, where I give you all the transits for 2024. That's coming up on the new moon, January 11th. The link is down below for that. So Jupiter goes direct, really kicking this year off to a very positive spin. In Aries, it is the first house, and that's on a collective level. For you, it means something different. You know your ascendant. What is the Aries for you? But the first house for all of us happens to be really like our identity, our personality, our independence, a passion at a lot of levels. And there is a shift in direction where we can really move forward with the, what we're birthing in that area around ourselves, around our independence, around the way we view and take action in the world. You're going to get inspirations, deeper insights coming in over this month as Jupiter starts to move direct here. And you want to lean into your wisdom and not into the world around you and all of the energy in the 3D world that's trying to hook you into whatever's trying to hook you into those patterns and those philosophies about things. Instead, you need to know what your inner philosophy is. And we have a lot of energy that's helping us with that this year as well. In January as well, because of all the energy we have going on in Sagittarius, and I will get to that in just a moment. But Jupiter can really now deliver the promise of what it has been wanting to bring you for, since spring of 2023. And when I say lean into your wisdom, it means you need to tune in. You need to lean into whatever spiritual teachings that make sense for you, to knowledge, to coming to things from a higher perspective and have a lot of faith. So just be very discerning on how is something really ring true to you or not. Jupiter always wants to show us the truth. And we want to follow the truth in order to really, actualize our purpose. So this is an incredible transit. And as it moves into Taurus in May, we'll then talk about that. But we have these first few months of the year to finally get the real grace that Jupiter has for it. And also I want to say, if you have planets in Libra, Jupiter's aspecting that directly, although it has the trine aspect. On January 1st, Mercury went direct. Now, it's direct at 28 degrees of Scorpio. It was in Sagittarius, Vedic Astrology. It transited back to Scorpio, and then it'll move back into Sagittarius, and that will be on the 7th. But meanwhile, this has been a real positive shift for us. We've been re-examining our stories, our teaching, our sort of deeper emotions about things, but really examining our beliefs at many levels. Now, while it's in Scorpio for this first week, I want to encourage you that if you have had some things come up around your belief systems, then you want to do whatever clearing, cleanup work you need to do around that. Do whatever clearing processes, shadow work, in order to shift those belief systems so that you can go into this year and actualize what your soul is really calling you to. Mercury being our great communicator, being our great merchant. Yes, it rules the business, quarter. It rules business and how we evaluate things. So while it is in Scorpio, do any finishing up work you have around clearing up your old stories around things. Don't get hooked in your deeper emotions. Thoughts and emotions are incredibly connected. Sometimes it's the emotion that causes the thought, and a lot of times it's the thought that causes the emotion. Is that harmonious, and is that moving you in the direction that you want? Or is that hindering you and taking your frequency down? You need to discern that and do the clearing work you need to in order to make that shift. And then it is going to move through Gandanta on the 7th, 8th of January. So on that particular 7th, 8th of January, just watch your communication, because as it moves through the Gandanta point, it goes quickly, but it just can be a little confusing during that time. But once it gets into Sagittarius, again, this is the 9th house on a general level, even though it means something specific for you as far as how the houses are. And you can always find out for free what your ascendant is if you get the chart calculator, and that is linked down below in the description for this video. And then you can know what your ascendant sign is and know what this house is, because you get a great guide to the houses that goes with that. So the ninth house is a place of luck, fortune. You know, it's divinity, it's purpose, soul purpose. It rules legal matters. Really, our highest dharma. We have 3 purpose houses, and the ninth house is the highest house of purpose. But it's also like a really good fortune. So this is a very wonderful placement for Mercury to come into. Now the sun is already in this placement, and it's going to really bring some clarity, some to our analytical ability. You're going to be able to really put that plan in place and discern what the actual plan is. And, you know, so then as Mercury then moves into Capricorn next month, we'll be able to, you know, dig into the hard work it takes to get that plan really going. Now, Mars is in this placement in Sagittarius. And again, Sagittarius giving us really the power also to speak the truth. So just be careful about maybe arguing around different belief systems with Mercury and Mars in this placement. Mars being our great honorable warrior. It's also the engineer and the strategist in the Sacred Wealth Code system. And when Mercury and Mars get together, it's a powerful combination, but it also, in this placement, could cause us to maybe argue over our beliefs, our philosophies of life. Instead of arguing with anybody, take a stand for your philosophy, your teachings, what makes sense to you around what your truth is. Stay true to that by taking action on that, and don't be so concerned about what others are doing. You know, walking the walk is much more powerful than talking the talk. So with Mars and Sagittarius, we are going to have the grace of having Jupiter aspecting Mars. So we'll have Jupiter not only with the aspect here, but also Jupiter and Mars are in a planetary exchange. So if I'm going to geek out on you for just a moment. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry, just hang in with me here. But a Parivatana Yoga is when planets exchange, and because they're in each other's sign. So Mars owns Aries, and it's in Sagittarius, which Jupiter owns Sagittarius. And Jupiter is in Aries. So they're essentially switched and act more like they're in their own sign. So it makes them very, very powerful. It makes Jupiter more powerful. It makes Mars more powerful. And so but it's also, Mars being under Jupiter's influence is very good, because essentially Jupiter is Mars's big brother. And as powerful as Mars is, when it's on the right track, it's so wonderful. When it's standing up for the cause that it makes sense to, when it's using that strategic ability to make the plan for the higher good, when it is really driving our passion and our productivity and our desire to take action from a place of truth and a place of justice, that's a beautiful thing. But when Mars is off track, it's pissy, and it can fight for no reason. So those are the things we need to be careful of. But it's under a good aspect here, which is a good thing. So just let your true beliefs, and let them continue to arise through this month, be your guiding force here. So again, the sun. So we've got the sun, we've got Mercury, and we've got Sagittarius, and we've got Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in Sagittarius. And, you know, you can also think of, with the sun here, it's really about our spiritual leadership. What are we taking a stand as far as the leader goes in, you know, as in our teachings, in our beliefs, in our spiritual leadership. So that's more of what the sun is in the first half of the month. So really, really powerful. Again, what's Sagittarius in your chart? Powerful energy here, benefic energy, fiery energy. So fire always means inspiration. So make sure you're in the place of inspiration. If you're frustrated or pissy, you're not in your inspiration and your passion. So you need to take a step back from things and not feel so pulled apart by potentially other people's beliefs. On January 11th, we have a new moon, and this new moon is also in Sagittarius. Lots going on in Sagittarius, Purvashada, and it's aspected by Jupiter. It's very victorious placement. It really gives us the ability to achieve things that we really put our intention, put our minds to, put our hearts to. It's said to be highly connected to the truth and has the ability to really set us free. I want to invite you to come to my Divinely Aligned 2024 forecast for all the ascendant and moon signs in Vedic astrology on the new moon. That's why it's on January 11th. Perfect time to not only understand these transits, but to understand them for you personally. We'll do some visioning, we'll do a healing meditation, and you'll have a resource for you to understand what your ascendant is in Vedic astrology. Also, you'll receive a beautiful cosmic planner along with understanding what the houses are and a downloadable PDF around the transits. And if you can't be there live, no worries, you have lifetime access. It's all 50% off now, only through the first week in January, and then the price goes up. So I encourage you to take advantage of the offer. Saturn is currently in Aquarius and will be here for the year. Saturn is in Shadabisha. Shadabisha is a very healing, very sort of out of the box, energetic healing nakshatra, and it's conjunct at the new moon, conjunct the fixed star. We have a few fixed stars in the zodiac, and it's the fixed star of Formalhaut. And this is a place of pouring the great cosmic waters into humanity, bringing healing to humanity. And just this is going to be a really great time for you to be tuning into what is the healing that you're bringing to humanity. You don't need to be a quote unquote healer. We're all healers in our own way, whether that is a modality that we do, but it also could be just the way that you are in the world, the way that you are compassionate with people. You have a certain kind of knowledge, and because you share that with the world, it has a healing aspect. There's kindness, bringing joy. There's many ways that we are when we're in our higher frequencies that brings healing. Venus is in Scorpio until January 18th, and then it'll transition into Sagittarius. So in the first half of the month, Venus, being our great connector and our great artist, is really in these latter degrees of Scorpio. We want to just watch out to get caught in sort of our deeper emotional energy that isn't serving us. It's fine to go into the depth of emotions, pierce through into our deeper devotion, but just be careful of getting caught in those deeper emotions in the first half of the month. And again, emotions that just are costing you more energy than they're providing for you. Hopefully you've made some great progress around relationships this last year. I mean, that's the eclipse pattern was hitting relationships. We had Venus last year, 2023, retrograde. Relationships were really challenged. And we had the month of November when Venus was in Libra, which brought a lot of grace to relationships. So if there's still some struggle there, just watch out for some arguments, watch out for feelings of betrayal. Is that true? Is that not true? Are you maybe betraying yourself because you're not making a better choice for yourself? What are you giving in relationships? We want to receive a lot in relationships, but are we giving also? Are we giving what it is we want to receive? Really good question to sit with, because true relationship, true higher level love is a give and receive. It is compassion, it is forgiveness, and having clear communication really helps with that. So just be quite careful though around January 17th, 18th, 19th, when Venus crosses that Gandanta point and moves into Sagittarius. And that's when communication again, and you just could feel a little out of sorts, around your feelings, deeper emotions, or relationships. So no big actions on any of that on those days. Once Venus gets to Sagittarius, again, here we have another planet in the very spiritual sign of Sagittarius: luck, fortune, divine purpose, legal matters, soul purpose, the natural ninth house of the zodiac, but something specific for you. And this is really helping us to connect through the heart to sort of the heart of the matter, the heart of our beliefs and our teachings, and really the sort of the connection and heart and emotional energy to the teachings, the spirituality that that we ascribe to. And there's a lot of energy here in the sun, with the sun and Mercury. Sun's about to, actually the sun will have shifted by then. So Mercury and Mars will still be in this placement in Sagittarius. And so can you connect with your deeper feelings? You have the ability to either have your emotions, your feelings manage you, or you can manage them. I have a whole teaching about this in the Solutionary Blueprint, and this is around being an empath on many levels. And in fact, in the full moon healing circle, we'll be really diving into doing some healing around empaths. I'll get to that. So with this, can you really connect to that deeper essence and what you're really devoted about? And can you, this gives us that emotional power, that power of the heart, which is 5,000 times or more stronger than the power magnetic field of the mind, with an aspect of Jupiter as well. And, can you really connect to that faith and that deep emotional energy that can fuel your desires, that can fuel what you are creating this year? When we move into Capricorn with the planets, because they're all going to pile up in Capricorn, that's where we get more into the hard work of things. But we need to have our beliefs aligned first, and then have our hearts in alignment with that. And this transit with Venus in Sagittarius can really help us with that. The sun will move into Capricorn on the 14th. And really after getting really clear on our belief systems at the beginning, the first half of the month with the sun's placement here, then we can step more into our commitments around that. Capricorn is a lot about our, it is focus and hard work, and what are we really committed to? What are we really willing to put our time, our focus, and our energy into? Because we need to do that to bring something forward. And the hard work isn't always the actual physical work we do on something, although that is part of it. We want that to come from inspired action. But the focus, the intention, all of that is part of it. So the sun is going to be in a great leadership position here. And of course, our great leader, to really work with that energy. But we want to get clear on our beliefs in the first half of the month to do that. Now on January 20th, Pluto and the sun will actually conjunct at 5 degrees of Capricorn. So this is very powerful with the sun being so close to Pluto. We just want to be careful of the power struggles, because that can definitely bring that in. You want to claim your power and use it wisely. But when Pluto reaches this exact point on the 20th, actually the sun reaches the exact point, this is going to be a place where we're going to see leadership, and we probably will see that more on a collective level, those power struggles in leadership. So you can sidestep that by staying true to you. And during 2024, we will have a time, and I'll get into this in the 2024 Divinely Aligned class, where Pluto reaches the exact point where it was when the Constitution in the United States was signed. And this is very significant for, structural changes within the US, and we are up for that this year. On January 25th, we have a full moon at 11 degrees of Cancer, and this is in the nakshatra of Pusha, a very, very benefic nakshatra in the caring, nurturing, emotional, and very deeply devotional sign of Cancer, where we're called to embrace our vulnerability, our intuition, our gifts as empaths. But there's the other side of that with empaths as well, is getting lost in other people's energy and taking on energy that's not useful to you. The Full Moon Healing Circle will have on January 25th. I'll bring an update around the full moon, and also we'll be doing a healing around empaths and around using that energy very cleanly, clearly, wisely, and feeling less burdened as an empath. And the link is down below around that for the Full Moon Healing Circle. January 27th, Uranus is direct. It's our last planet to go direct, and we will have all the planets for now moving forward. And it goes direct at 24 degrees of Aries. And Uranus can bring unexpected changes. It's a very, it's strong because it's been stationing. When it moves direct, it can really bring on those changes and bring them on quickly. It rules technology, higher consciousness. It really opens the door to higher consciousness for us. It stands for our individuality, creativity, independence, and new patterns and structures. Technology, science, inventiveness. It's a revolutionary planet. And when it brings things in, it brings them in rather quickly. If you have planets at 24 degrees of Aries or Libra, this is going to be very, very potent for you, or even a degree on either side of that. It really can help us raise our frequency. In Vedic astrology, we look at the outer planets because they are not planets of light. As more background issues, they're more potent when they're going into retrograde, coming out of retrograde, or conjuncting with major planets. So I wanted to bring that into because again, there's some revolutionary changes we are very much in store for, and things will happen quickly. So stay alert, stay tuned, and notice where you are not willing to open up to the new revolutionary changes and which ones may not be for you. Because there are some changes coming down that can seem very beneficial, and at the same time, wow, how much of ourselves and our power are we giving away by embracing those changes? So it's a dance, and we have to work with it. So by the end of the month, all planets are moving direct. All holds are off. Things are moving forward. You need to be clear and have a clear direction. And if it hasn't dropped in, don't worry, it'll drop in this month. Stay tuned. You can join me in my Divinely Aligned class, because in that class, we're going to go over all the transits. You're going to dig into a deeper vision for yourself and have the clarity to do that aligned with your soul blueprint. The price for the class until the end of the first week of January is still 50% off, and then the price goes up from there. I encourage you to attend. It's on the new moon, and again, you get all the resources and the recording, lifetime access if you can't be there live with me. Link to the healing circle is down below, the free chart calculator, the Sacred Wealth Code quiz, all my free resources. I appreciate you subscribing and sharing, staying tuned to the channel, and that really helps me to get the word out and be able to create more videos for you. And this year I plan on making a lot more videos for you, and different videos, including meditations and healings and ways to clear your energy and some of the other great things that I talk about. Leave me a comment, tell me what's up for you, what's rung true out of this video, and what you're looking forward to in 2024. All right, so much love to you.